Good evening and welcome to the Florida Weather Watch's weather forecast for the state of Florida from Tuesday, March 28th to Sunday, April 2nd. Thank you very much for joining in. I apologize for not having a video out earlier for this week's forecast. Obviously, my concern this weekend, especially for those that were on my Florida Weather Watch Facebook page, were for the folks in the southeast United States, especially Mississippi and Alabama. Um, my thoughts and my prayers are definitely with the victims and their families of the massive tornado outbreak that happened in Mississippi Friday night and this early Saturday morning. As tragically, as last I checked, 26 people have died in the state of Mississippi, um, and more will likely to come. It was a truly disastrous situation that occurred in Mississippi with violent tornadoes from one massive supercell thunderstorm that lasted for 350 miles and devastated four different cities throughout the state of Mississippi, especially Rolling Fork, Mississippi, where most of the deaths occurred because it was a fast hitting storm, developed very quickly, and the people in Rolling Fork, Mississippi did not have much warning. If you are of faith, please keep those folks in Mississippi in your thoughts and prayers. In the coming days, as I get more information about how to support those folks in Mississippi that were struck and devastated by those tornadoes, I will post them on my Florida Weather Watch Facebook page, which I will link in the description below. I will also post it here to my Florida Weather Watch YouTube channel in a post to all my subscribers. So please hit that subscribe button below so you can get access to that. As well as any of my social medias, I will go ahead and post updates on there as well. With that being said, let's switch focus to the state of Florida and our weather coming up. And there's a lot to discuss in the coming week. As you see, my first headline here, we are going to see the potential for severe weather in northern Florida tomorrow on Tuesday. I'm recording this video at close to 10 o'clock on Monday night, March 27th. So tomorrow afternoon and evening, we may see a risk for severe weather in northern Florida. Scattered showers and storms will be around the state of Florida in the coming week at different times. I'll show you that timeline in the forecast modeling. It could even get some gusty winds at times, especially as we get towards the weekend. There's appears to be a pretty significant storm system that's going to sweep through the entire country. And with that energy, with that storm system, it's going to increase the winds over the state of Florida this weekend. And then finally, we're going to be near summertime heat. It's mid-March at this point. Floridians are starting to get used to it getting warmer and warmer earlier and earlier in the year. Unfortunately, that's been the trend year after year. But let's get right into the forecasting, ladies and gentlemen. And let's get into the nowcasting. What's currently happening now across the state of Florida. And on radar here, you're going to notice that there's a couple areas of showers and thunderstorms that have appeared. The most significant of which are the showers and storms that are... and by the way, I love this new update with the Epic Pen drawing tool that I use. Now I have access to a lot more colors here, a lot more tools on this. So this is going to be fun. You're going to notice across northern Florida, we have some scattered showers and thunderstorms, none of which are reaching severe limits. If they were reaching severe limits, you see some boxes and polygons like these over southern Mississippi and Louisiana here. So there's no severe weather with this. There's some enhanced thunderstorms, but that's about it. And a little bit of sea breeze activity, a little bit of moisture convergence over Broward County this evening in Palm Beach County. That's creating a few thunderstorms for the first time in a long time over South Florida. And we're going to see a repeat of this in a couple days on Wednesday night that I'm going to show you as well in the forecast models. So these are the only two areas of action right now. Otherwise, it's pretty quiet across the state of Florida. Nothing too significant going on at this point. So that is the radar view currently. One thing that I do want to show you is the satellite imagery over the area here. And what I'm going to be showing you is what's called the water vapor imagery here. And the reason why I'm going to show you the water vapor imagery is because it's going to really show us why we have stayed dry for so long. Okay, so let me zoom out of this. This is the water vapor imagery. So what this water vapor imagery shows is where we have areas of moisture and showers and thunderstorms in the blues and especially these green colors here. And then where we have areas of dry air in these yellows and bright oranges. And when I go ahead and play this, what I want you to notice is the flow over Florida here. Okay, so as this steps out through time here, you're going to notice that everything is going from west to east across the southeast United States. Okay, and much of this pattern will remain the same in the coming days, where everything seems to be flowing from west to east here across the entire region here. This is your jet stream. So this is what kind of dictates where storm systems are going to go across the United States, and generally speaking, across the entire northern hemisphere. It ebbs and flows. It'll have its dips and valleys and everything, but this is a general flow across the area. And something that you may not see very well, but it is definitely there, is high pressure. High pressure is in effect right over here, right over the Southwest Atlantic. And what that is doing is it's causing the flow to go around around Florida like this. And it's protecting much of the Florida Peninsula from these showers and thunderstorms here that have been occurring over the southeast United States. But this general pattern will change a bit in the coming week, and I'm going to show you that in the computer forecast models at this point. So we're going to get rid of the radar now, and we're going to go over to where we could see severe weather tomorrow. And this is the Storm Prediction Center outlook, the day 2 outlook, which is valid for tomorrow. And you're going to notice a marginal risk of severe weather is possible across much of northern Florida and the panhandle of Florida tomorrow. And what a marginal risk for severe weather means is, as I've shown in previous updates here. Okay, what this means is there's a 1 out of 5 chance for severe thunderstorms within a 25-mile area in that zone, which means you're looking at a 20% chance of a severe thunderstorm or two in northern Florida tomorrow. Because of all the heat and humidity that's collecting, as well as the extra wind energy that's coming across from Texas, we're going to see that potential take place. Okay, now the risk for tomorrow, okay, we're going to start out with hail. There is no risk for hail tomorrow across northern Florida. The surface temperatures and the winds are a little bit too high for there to be hail. Wind could be a possibility. There's a 5% chance of wind, which means a 5% chance of damaging winds of 60 miles per hour or above. And then there is a 2% chance of a tornado tomorrow in northern Florida. It's not a 0% chance, but it's very unlikely that we're going to see a tornado in northern Florida tomorrow. So the general threat will be maybe some gusty thunderstorms across northern Florida tomorrow, but beyond that, not really anything to be too worried about, like what happened in Mississippi, and unfortunately, what's going to end up happening to the folks in the mid part of the country on Friday. Friday, I'm not gonna lie, looks pretty scary for the folks in the Midwestern part of the United States. This is the day 5 outlook, and this is very rare that the Storm Prediction Center issues a 30% chance for severe weather 5 days out. So this actual storm system right here is actually going to affect our weather in Florida this weekend by adding some extra thunderstorms to the area, extra wind energy, and changing the flow across the state a bit. But if you have folks in this area of the country, which is anywhere from Wisconsin all the way down to Texas, and especially the areas of Illinois, Iowa, Missouri, and Arkansas, as well as Western Texas, Western Tennessee, and Kentucky, they really need to be on alert Friday, because every single computer forecast model indicator shows a very significant severe weather event with potential very strong tornadoes and maybe some long track tornadoes with how much wind energy is going to be in this system on Friday. But that's for another day. I will likely do a special video update on that on Thursday when I get home from work, or even on Wednesday, depending on how my schedule works at that point. So let's get it focused on what's going to be happening in the forecast models here. So I'm going to change up the view a little bit. I'm going to be going with the Southeast United States view instead of my Florida view, because I do want you to be able to see where this weather's coming from, especially this weekend, where we have the storm system that's going to come through Arkansas, the Southeast United States, and how it's going to impact the weather here in all of Florida. So to start out with, this is the 18Z run. So this is as of 2 p.m. Eastern. These timestamps up here are universal time. Okay. So that means that all you do is you subtract 4 hours. So this is 0Z. Subtract 4 hours. That's 20 military time, which is 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern time. Okay. So this is Tuesday. This is currently what's happening. And yes, it verifies very well with the showers and thunderstorms across northern Florida here. And as I step it through time, you're going to notice that throughout the night, the showers and storms diminish. But then tomorrow, this is at 11 a.m. tomorrow, right here, tomorrow morning, you're going to see a storm system that's going to create that marginal risk for severe weather coming across northern Florida here. And you're going to notice an area right here of some enhanced showers and thunderstorms over northern Florida here. And that's why we have a marginal risk for severe weather, because whenever you get an area of low pressure here that sweeps across in this direction, you could get some stronger thunderstorms that happen, especially with how much heat energy is building in the atmosphere here. Okay, so then again, I'm going to step it through time here. Bada boom, it swings very quickly across the northern part of the state, and by this is what's called this is Wednesday afternoon. The system's all very off the coast here. Not Wednesday afternoon, Tuesday night. The system's off the coast, and then as we step it through time here, you're going to notice this is Wednesday at 2 p.m., Wednesday at 5 p.m., and then notice kind of a little bit of a bullseye of action happening in South Florida for once here. You're going to notice that there's going to be an enhancement of showers and thunderstorms over South Florida as we get a little bit of a flow coming in from the Atlantic here, and it's going to pick up a little extra moisture here across Florida here, so that by the time that we get to, that's Wednesday night at 8 p.m., and then it dies off pretty quickly. But it's going to be a quick burst of showers and thunderstorms over South Florida Wednesday afternoon into Wednesday night. And then when the heat energy goes away, it goes away. Okay. And then Thursday is going to be a relatively clear day across Florida. There's no real shower activity on Thursday. And then on Friday, I want you to notice these lines here. These lines are showing that we are going to start to see a lot of warmth, a deep amount of heat coming across Florida. This flow is coming from the south, coming from the Caribbean, and this flow is changing in response to this storm system that is going to be a monster for the midsection of the country. That's going to produce that widespread severe weather event on Friday afternoon. So the flow completely changes across Florida. It's going to be a deep southerly flow. And I would not be surprised to see record highs broken across the state of Florida, highs reaching well into the 90s inland. For sure, come Friday afternoon. It's going to get ridiculously hot for this time of year. That's why I say summertime heat is likely in the cards across Florida. This is Friday night at 8 p.m. Even though it's a Saturday up here, remember this is universal time code. Here is our front. Here is our storm system right here that's creating the severe weather across the midsection of the country. And as I go through time here, when we get into Saturday morning, you're going to see that this front is right about, let me do that here. You can kind of see where the front is based upon where these lines go right here. So this is our front right here. Here's the showers and thunderstorms that are out ahead of it. No, it does not look like the cold front will make it through Florida. We will continue to be warm across Florida, unfortunately, because at this time of the year, it's really hard for a cold front to really bust through the deep, high pressure systems that we usually have. And then as it exits off the coast, not really much activity. Why did I say it was going to affect our weather here? Well, what it's going to do is it's going to increase the wind energy across Florida here. So these are the wind gusts, okay? And these wind gusts are in miles per hour. And the brighter the colors get, obviously, the higher the wind gusts. So I'm going to go ahead and speed through time here. And I want you to notice that tomorrow here, with these showers and thunderstorms that are going to happen across northern Florida, you're going to see an increase of wind gusts here. Wind gusts approaching 20, 25 miles per hour, maybe even occasionally 30 miles an hour in some of these areas as that system goes off the coast. And then notice how we get into Wednesday night over in Florida, and you can kind of see this little area of like increased flow coming in from the Atlantic. That's going to increase the wind gusts across eastern parts of Florida, and that's going to bring in that little bit of a moisture pocket to South Florida here. Okay, and then as I step it through time here, that exits off the west coast of Florida, diminishes, and then watch as we get into Friday here. Boom! There is all this wind energy. And remember that deep southerly flow that I told you about? It's going to be kicking across Florida here. So as we get into, this is Friday morning at 8 a.m. Notice all the wind gusts that are now picking up across Florida here. You're going to see that there's a lot of wind energy that is starting to pick up because of that flow that is deepening into this storm system that is going to bring all this moisture and energy into the midsection of the country and bring that severe weather outbreak across this area. So as I go ahead and step it through time here, this is Friday night at 8 p.m. Look at all this wind energy up here. You're going to see wind gusts of 60 miles an hour, possibly near Memphis, Tennessee, come Friday night, as this very powerful, very energetic storm system comes across the country here. And notice how the wind gusts are pretty high going into Saturday morning across northern Florida. And then as it continues to move off the coast finally and exit, we finally calm down. The southeast finally gets a break from all the severe weather. And Sunday looks like a beautiful day. Looks like no rain around. Maybe increase of winds at night here. But other than that, that's what we're looking at there. And the last thing I want to take a look at is the forecast temperatures. And ladies and gentlemen, it's going to get hotter than this. As you can see already, we are seeing some temperatures that are really baking across the area here. You're going to see temperatures well into the upper 80s to the 90s already in place across Florida. And I hate to say it, folks, but believe it or not, even though we're late March going into April, it's going to get even hotter than that. So I'm going to go quickly through this as we step through time. Okay, that's the nighttime temperatures. Remember, at night, things generally cool down. This is 8 a.m. tomorrow morning, and bada boom, look at that. That's by 2 p.m. in the afternoon. Lots of temperatures in the upper 80s to lower 90s inland. Some areas reaching the mid 90s, possibly, like 94 here in Henry County here. And then as I step it through time, what I want you to notice here is we do get a little bit of a break in northern Florida come Wednesday morning because of that storm system that came across the northern part of the state. And then what I want you to notice is, let's take a look here. Okay, bit of a break on Thursday. That's Thursday afternoon at 2 p.m. And then on Friday is where that southerly flow is going to develop over Florida, and temperatures will really build into the 80s and 90s here across Florida. Because the flow is going to be paralleling the coastline, the east coast of Florida here, like this, you may see temperatures be cooler at the coastline, the east coast of Florida, because of that. But other than that, the entire state of Florida will be warming up on Friday. And then definitely into Saturday. That's your Saturday afternoon temperatures. Highs back in the 90s, upper 80s to lower 90s across the state. As that storm system comes across, builds up a lot more heat. And look at that this is Sunday at 5 p.m. 95 degrees possible in Orlando, Florida, come Sunday afternoon. So there's going to be a lot of heat that builds right back into the state of Florida here. So going back ahead over to my headlines for this week, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to see severe weather possible in northern Florida come tomorrow, come Tuesday, March 28th, especially later in the afternoon and overnight. Occasional scattered showers and storms will be around throughout northern Florida, and then in South Florida come Wednesday night, Wednesday evening, I should say. You're going to notice an increase of wind energy at times across Florida, and that near summertime heat is going to be there. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, my next video update will be on likely Thursday evening to highlight the severe weather outbreak that will occur over much of the midsection of the country. Because even though I know I am the Florida Weather Watch, I like to also have a national and global perspective on all things weather. And I know many of my viewers, many of my followers may have family in that area of the country, so I want to make sure I cover that. And my next educational video will come out this upcoming weekend, more than likely, which is going to be about El Nino versus La Nina. I'm still working on gathering all my research for that and trying to dissect it so that it'll be easy for me to teach you it in ways that you'll be able to easily understand. So thank you very much for joining. Thank you very, very much for watching. Please hit that subscribe button below. Please hit that like button to let me know if you're enjoying these forecasts. If you feel like you have advice for me to improve these videos, please leave it in the comments below. I will always gladly take feedback in the comments. If you have questions or concerns, please also put that in the comment section below. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, have a great rest of your night. I look forward to seeing you again in the future. And as my late great cross-country coach Jim Richardson would always say, there'll be weather, whether or not. But no matter what the weather will be, I'll be here tracking it all along the way. Have a great night, and have a great week coming up. Thank you very much.